How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Compelling Conversations. Today, I'm talking to my friend, the buffest man I know, the most fittest, ideal, epic specimen on the face of the earth. He's probably the most incredible, ultimate golden piece of human physique you could ever possibly imagine. Whenever you look at the stickers on the workout machines, it's based on him.
You have really low standards.
His name is Daniel Raymond Harrison.
What up? It's your boy.
So Daniel, tell him what we're talking about today.
I don't fucking know.
We're talking about the fitness industry. So Daniel, being the fittest guy I know, what do you have to say about fitness?
It's a thing? What the fuck do you want me to say?
Okay, well tell me about this, man.
Okay.
You used to be fat as hell.
Right.
And how did you become unfat?
Crippling depression. Self-esteem issues.
So tell me about that, though.
What?
So depression motivated you?
Partially.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah.
most of the time, motivation, like, people who have depression lack motivation and don't go to the gym.
Yeah, but I didn't like myself.
So literally, you were fat, so you started going to the gym, and it was like, what, stress relief to you, or was it just your goal?
No, I didn't like myself as I was. I was fucking fat.
Uncomfortable in your own skin?
Yeah.
Why, did you think you were ugly?
Think I was.
I mean, we both couldn't get girlfriends. We were both fairly hideous.
Yeah, it was a thing.
I think we were both probably 3.5s.
I was a solid too.
At most. Right now, I'm probably back up to a 5, which I'm happy about. Still a 3?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But Daniel, tell me how much work, blood, sweat, and tears went into becoming from fat to fit.
Okay.
And how long did it take?
Took about 6 to 8 months. Just of like diet, exercise, that sort of shit.
Cottage cheese
Kind
every
of a thing.
day?
Yeah. I still remember that. You guys made fun of me a lot.
Yeah, every single day, Daniel, instead of eating Taco Bell with us, he ate cottage cheese and yogurt with protein powder in it.
Yeah, it was a thing.
But what was the pivotal moment for you? Was it wrestling? Was wrestling what got you to be motivated to be in shape, or was it?
Yeah, that was part of it. My coach wanted me at a lighter weight. So I was 182 pounds at 5'6", so I was like 29% body fat, something like that. Like morbidly obese, but
But you were still strong.
no. And so then he was like, hey, you should consider going to a lighter weight for the next season, like 152s.
Damn.
And so I was like, all right, well, that's 30 pounds, so that's kind of a thing. And I just kept going, and then I went down to 143. So I think I was like 11 or 12% body fat, so
dude.
like cut down 15, 16, 17%, something like that.
Well, I remember before I started freshman year, I was so unhealthy. I weighed about 135 pounds.
Yeah.
And I had to make it down to 106s. Granted, most of the time I was weighing in at about 112. But then sometimes I would barely manage to make it down to 106s
Right.
if I was lucky. So I lost a total of about 20 pounds on average.
You should put a picture of the link in the linked
Yeah, I'll put a picture of us. I think
us three.
there is a picture of me.
You, me, John Shedd.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then I'll put a picture of us now. You and your ripped abs.
Yeah.
But Daniel.
Hmm.
Like how much work did it take, and how much willpower, like how did you give yourself the willpower to just eat that disgusting, putrid, ugly ass fucking toxic waste you call cottage cheese every single day out of a Tupperware container? Because I could have never done that.
I just had a goal in mind, and I was determined enough to reach that goal. And it's like during the process, I didn't know anything but the goal. Does that make sense?
Not really, because for most people, they don't really know how to find determination. So what do you have any advice to people who, get discouraged at the gym because they're embarrassed about how weak they are or how fat they are? People that just lack determination and can't control how much food they eat, what kind of food they eat.
Just keep your eye on the ball, pretty much. Focus on your goal. Focus on reaching your goal. There's going to be a lot of people that make fun of you in your process. I like to call them crabs. And because of that, have you ever watched Deadliest Catch?
A little bit, not very much.
Okay, so these guys, they go out into the sea and they catch a bunch of crabs, right?
Yeah.
They put them in this tank. There's a whole bunch of crabs, live crabs, in this tank, and they're all trying to get out. However, one of the crabs will get farther than the other crabs out of the tank or whatever, and then all the other crabs will actually reach, grab the crab back into the herd.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of people like that.
Who will drag you down.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to try and drag you down. Just keep your eye on the goal. I'm going to try and not sound as not douchey as possible.
Well, dude, for me, because lately I've been more motivated to work out. And for me, I think part of it was just forcing myself to go.
Yeah.
So after work, even though like I felt like a complete sack of shit and I really didn't want to go, I basically just told myself, well, I'm probably always going to feel like a piece of shit for the rest of my entire life unless I start going. So I should probably just do it. And then I started going, and
just kept the ball rolling.
I just kept the ball rolling, and then it rolled to the point where it was rolling smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like forcing yourself to go into a routine, or at least, something that's you're used to now.
Yeah. So motivation doesn't last forever. Doesn't last forever for anybody.
Yeah.
There's two types of motivation, though. There's extrinsic, meaning the forces around you. So like other people, a beach trip or something like that, thinking of how like other people will see you. Or there's intrinsic, which means like how you see yourself or whatever. So you need to rely more on intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah. Because extrinsic is basically superficial nonsense.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you need to solve it from within.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, so creating a routine. You'll hear a lot the saying, don't work out because you hate yourself, but work out because you love yourself.
Yeah.
That's a really good example of intrinsic motivation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing I've kind of observed is that the hard, the growing pain period is something that you're definitely past, and it's probably hard for you to remember that time. It's hard to believe that both of us even got out of it, probably because of wrestling, because that was very regimented. But basically, when you're unhealthy and you work out, it feels like you're straining yourself so hard because your body's not used to intense activity.
Right.
But once you finally somehow manage to push through and make yourself healthy, working out for me, at least now, it's not a chore anymore. It's something I kind of look forward to, and now I kind of want to go and strive to make myself better, stronger.
Right. So I'll put it in terms of physics. So it's easier for an object to stay in motion rather than come from a complete stop into motion.
Object in motion tends to stay in motion.
Yeah.
That's interesting. On the last podcast, someone made that, or a different podcast, someone made that same analogy.
It's a popular analogy.
It's very true, though. I've noticed that so much, especially when I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm completely hustling and just cleaning everything.
Hustle.
And, just hustling and moving.
Yeah.
And working fast and hard. It's like I tend to not want to stop. I want to keep that same groove going.
Right.
But the second a customer is taking like 10 years and I'm literally just fucking standing there staring at them, waiting for them to make up their damn mind, it really slows me down. And after the customer finally, after 10 minutes of deciding, is finally done and out of there, literally I feel so drained all of a sudden. It's like all of a sudden I'm completely way more tired than I was 5 minutes ago just because of that little stopping period.
Yeah, you came into a point of realization of your situation.
That's sad, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what do you have to say to people that can't get motivated, though? You know, because our friend Eric, I hate to put him on the spot here, dude, but
Poor Eric.
he was going to the gym with us for a little while there, and he got discouraged.
Yeah,
I don't care what excuses he makes for himself. He stopped going, and he got discouraged. I don't know if it was because of external values.
It probably was.
I think you're right. It's because his motivations were extrinsic, not intrinsic.
Right.
Because he actually doesn't give a shit. But I think he's getting to that point where he does now.
Probably. Yeah, I can see how he could get discouraged. Gyms usually have a bunch of fucking bodybuilders fucking slamming weight up and down.
Yeah.
Myself included now.
Yeah, I know. Now you're one of those guys that I'm like, yeah, I wish I was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they can be pretty intimidating for a new guy coming in.
Yeah.
Just doing his thing and then fucking slamming weight up and down, up and down, up and down. What?
Yeah, it's something else, that's for sure.
But the best way to keep yourself motivated is to keep yourself accountable somehow.
Yeah.
For example, for my competition, I had a date I had to be fucking shredded for. So that kept me accountable. There was like more times I can count that I wanted to quit, but I already paid for the stupid thing, and I was going to get shredded for the show.
Yeah, and you sure as hell did. Frighteningly.
Great.
Seriously, this guy was so skinny, it almost looked unhealthy.
That's because it is.
Well, tell me about that. You know, when your whole family was eating pizza, and you literally just worked out pretty much all day, and then you were just fucking running on a treadmill.
That's fairly accurate.
Eating like 2 peas a day.
2 peas, exactly. I think it was 2 or 3 days out from the show. I still had 4 or 5 pounds to lose. I had got home from work. I still needed to hop on the elliptical and fucking go for 30, 40 minutes. And I walk in. I actually walked into my house at the same time as the delivery driver for Papa John's.
Oh, God.
And I was like, what the fuck?
How much in your mind did you feel that you wanted a slice of that pizza?
So have you ever been hangry?
Where it's like, you're so hungry, you're just pissed at everyone? Yeah.
Now multiply that by 10.
God, you're just an ass to everyone.
Pretty much.
I bet you were a piece of shit at Stater Brothers.
This was after I got off of work, but yeah.
But I bet during that time, maybe that's why you hated Stater Brothers so much.
No, I definitely hated life.
God damn, dude. I wasn't even around for that.
No, you weren't. You were in Missouri being a big old freaking jerk.
Big old nerd, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something else, man. That must have been really rough.
It was rough, but...
Did it feel painful?
No.
Never did it feel like...
No, because I still had my goal in mind, and I just kept focusing on that, and... Like, it never felt like, Daniel, why the fuck are you doing this to yourself? Like, any normal person would, but it was more of... It was like growing pains.
You want to be the best?
Yeah.
I get it.
It's just what I had to do.
That's good. So, I mean, would there be any tip of advice that maybe someone who wants to get fit, what kind of superficial goal, what kind of way can a normal person figure out to keep themselves accountable? Because I know for me, like, really the only way I keep myself accountable is just mentally. Yeah. I kind of beat myself up, which probably isn't even healthy.
No, it's not the best thing.
I get really depressed sometimes.
So as a personal trainer, I have a good amount of clients that are partners, and that keeps themselves accountable a lot of the time. So if one partner doesn't show up, the other partner's like, what the fuck?
That's true. Having a partner there makes it so much
better. Surrounding yourself with friends that are similar-minded as you will definitely help a lot.
That makes a lot of sense, because, yeah, I know, like, in some years when my friends weren't really going to the gym as much, I just kind of stopped going too.
Yeah.
Because you were too busy, so I couldn't really go with you.
Yeah. It was a thing.
I'm not blaming you for that, but...
Well, you are, so...
And Eric didn't want to go, so...
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just surround yourself with people that are similar-minded as you. They'll keep you accountable.
Yeah.
Keep you motivated.
So do you have any advice about like, gaining strength? Because I know, like, I've just observed things over the years. Like, one thing I've learned is that, like, recently that I figured out about myself is all these years of going to the gym, I was never really able to increase my lateral strength very much. Like, I always wanted to be able to do a lot of pull-ups, and I would do the
That's not your lateral, but yeah.
Oh, is that
Vertical.
Vertical? Well, I just call it lateral, as in lats. But I don't know. But anyway, I would do the pull down machine, and I realize now that I fucking hate that machine. I never do it.
Mm-hmm.
What I ended up doing is I just started doing pull ups, and I do pull ups in every workout.
Mm-hmm.
Is that weird?
No, it's completely normal.
I can do like
It's good.
I used to be able to do just 4 pull ups.
Yeah.
Max, but now I can do like 12.
Good. That's what you need to do. It's like riding a bike.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think about that concept about machines versus free weights? Do you have any advice for new people at the gym or?
So machines can definitely be a little less intimidating as something like deadlift or bench or whatever the hell. So there's just a couple differences between machines and free weights. Basically, the only difference is what's called stabilizer muscles. So if you're in a machine, it's literally just one plane that you're going through, one plane of motion. So if you're fucking doing a machine chest press or whatever, like, it's just your chest, it's just your shoulders, it's just your triceps. But if you're doing bench press, there's your chest, there's your shoulders, there's all the stabilizer muscles in your back, in your shoulders, your rotator cuffs, whatever. It's been thrown out there a lot, but it's what's called functional movement. So it correlates to stuff in real life.
So basically machines isolate the muscles more accurately?
Pretty much.
But that sounds like a good thing, but is it actually not a good thing?
Not necessarily, because let's say you do want to get stronger, and you're just doing machine chest press. Let's say you go to a push-up and you fucking tear your rotator cuff.
Holy crap.
Because all the other muscles overpower that tiny little muscle.
So basically the little balancing muscles and stuff are so, ratio-wise, they're not strong enough in comparison to your chest.
Yeah, so your chest is this huge-ass muscle. Let's take your legs, for example. Your legs are one of the biggest muscle groups in your entire body, your glutes. You're doing leg press, and you're working out your legs a lot, so that's good. Let's say you bend down to pick something up, and you tear your ACL or something, because the stabilizer muscles that are around your knee are not as strong as the big quads, hamstrings, glutes, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I've never thought of that. So basically, are you just saying that people should do more free weights and stay off the machines more often?
So free weights definitely have their place. Machines definitely have their place. Like, if you're trying to get fucking big, but still have your compound lifts in mind, your chest, or your bench press, your overhead press, your deadlift, your squat, those are going to be the most functional in that they'll correlate and move over into real life.
All right.
Improperly squatting is actually the cause for a lot of herniated discs.
Yeah.
So if you learn how to do all those big compound movements correctly, get strong at them, there's a lot less risk for little injuries like that.
Yeah. So a lot of people basically go in there and they're intimidated by the people around me there, and because I know I did this too, where I wanted to be, I wanted to try to make people think I was strong.
Yeah.
So I would do way too much weight, but I would do it with shit form.
Right. Ego plays a big role.
You remember that one time when I tried squatting like over 200 pounds in sophomore year, and I couldn't fucking do it?
Yeah.
And I just got nay-nayed, and I had to drop the weight, and then we had to take the weight off and put it back on the bar. And
which is way more humbling than if you were to just do your regular fucking weight.
that was embarrassing as shit, dude.
Yeah.
God, that was embarrassing.
Like the time when I tried to bench press over 200 pounds, and it was like the first week in the gym or something.
Oh.
Like these two bigger guys were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Lighten the weight, dude.
Yeah, I think you're right. You need to know your grounds and
Check your ego.
and
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's for sure. But I think people really mistake it that they think people around them, bodybuilders and stuff around them, will judge them for not being strong, but in reality, bodybuilders judge you more for doing too much weight but doing it with shit form. Sometimes.
Yeah. Not necessarily. I'll say, for example, when I'm in the gym, tunnel vision. I don't fucking notice anybody around me. Nobody's fucking looking at you.
Yeah, no one really gives a fuck what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. They're just either fucking looking at their phone or checking themselves out in the mirror.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know I don't really pay attention to anyone else. I'll kind of like glance at other people just kind of daydreaming.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll just stare off, and then people will be like, what the fuck? Why are you looking at me? I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of crazy.
Then I'm that creep in the gym.
Yeah. Oh, man. So what do you think about cardio?
Cardio has its place. People put way too much emphasis on it, though.
How so? You can take a drink of water, by the way.
No, it's okay. Give me an example. Like, give me an example of a person.
Okay, so basically, some people say that you should always run after workouts or before workouts. You should run a mile a day. Or is that true, or based on the circumstances? You know, it?
So I'll start with your first example. People always run. Doesn't have to be run. Do cardio after workouts just because there's a set limit of energy that you have. And so if they were going to do lifting weights first, which would you rather prioritize, lifting weights or cardio? Assuming you want to retain the most muscle, obviously you're going to lift weights first because you're going to have the most energy doing that. And then you'll do cardio. I think you're more talking about people that just go to the gym to hop on the treadmill, hop on the elliptical.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily the best idea because, for one, our bodies are a system of adaptations. It's what's helped us through evolution for the thousands or millions of years that we've been on this earth. So let's say you're trying to lose weight. You're eating at 2,200 calories, give or take. And then you're hopping on the treadmill for 40 minutes a day, burning 600 calories. Nice. So for the first couple of weeks that you do this, you'll be burning. So your overall calories that you'll be eating technically, so you eat 2,200, burn 600. That's, what the fuck is that? That's math. 1,600. Wait. Yes. 1,800. There you go. 1,800 calories that you'll be with throughout the day. So when you go to sleep, that's how many calories you'll have. So that's good. That'll probably be below your deficit, meaning that you will lose weight. However, your body will adapt, meaning that its metabolism will slow down to that 1,800 level mark, and then you'll have to do more cardio, eat less, more cardio, eat less, more cardio, until you spiral down into eating nothing and doing 3 hours of cardio.
Damn. So you're basically saying that cardio causes eating disorders.
To a certain extent.
That's frightening, man.
Right.
Well, I know when I lived in Missouri, I started doing cardio because I don't know why. Like what happened basically is I was living in St. Louis for a month and I was eating so much donuts and shit. And then I was like, shit, I need to start working this off. So the second I got back to Rolla, literally the first day I ran 6 miles. Never even ran that far in my entire life.
Right.
And I started doing like 3-mile jogs.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped my cardio. Like I had more stamina. And
Well, you felt better, right?
I did.
Your
feel
goal
better.
wasn't to lose weight.
But the thing is I still ate fucking a lot. I ate fucking fast food and shit. So I didn't really eat that much less. I was just
right. So you're kind of
I've never really paid attention to diet most of my life. I've kind of just maintained.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally I cut back a little bit, but I don't have that type of self-control with food most of the time.
Yeah, well, you're right.
So what are you saying, though? Like, to what extent and how fast is this rate to where it could bring a person to eating disorders?
Okay, so not necessarily does it cause eating disorders, but let's say you're at 170 pounds, you're trying to get to 140 or whatever. At 170, you start eating 2,200 calories, running on the treadmill for 40 minutes. You're burning 600 calories. You're at 1,800, you lose 10 pounds. However, you plateau there, so you're still eating 2,200 calories, running 40 minutes a day, but you're not losing any weight or anything. You have to cut even more weight, or you have to run on the treadmill longer, or you have to eat less. It's your choice, but usually people do both because they're crazy. You get down to, so now you're eating 1,800 calories, running on the treadmill for 40 minutes. You're at 150 pounds. So you have the 10 minutes left. You even cut your calories down even more. You're at 1,100 calories. You're barely even eating at that point. And then you're running on the treadmill for an hour and a half a day. And then finally, you get down to 140. You're like, nice, I'm at this weight. So then you let off on the cardio. You start to eat a little bit more. You start to gain weight because your metabolism is already so slow that anything above that will make you gain weight. So then you're like, what the fuck? And so you just get into this endless cycle of eating barely anything, running on the treadmill for an hour a day just to maintain that weight.
Yeah. That's tragic that even these people that do have willpower get thrust into a situation where they can't even help themselves.
Right.
They're not. What? So basically, are you saying that you have to use a lot of variety in order to actually lose the weight? So basically, if you're doing cardio, also do muscular stuff?
Oh, yeah, for sure. In fact, you don't even really need to do cardio. Diet and resistance training will help the most with losing weight.
Well, I was told, though, that cardio actually speeds up your metabolism at least for like 24 or 48-hour periods.
So that's a little bit of bro science right there. So what it actually is doing is it's of course raising your heart rate, which is going to burn calories. So therefore, it's like, oh, it's going to raise your metabolism. So your heart rate is still up, but after a little while, it does slow down. Back to normal.
Okay. That's crazy, man. Wow. So what do you think? I guess we'll transition a little bit into fitness gurus, the fakes and the reals.
All right. Here we go.
So give me your broad perspective of what people should look for and how basically to identify scam artists. Are there scam artists? Is everyone a scam artist?
Everyone's trying to sell something, right? So my biggest advice for people who's looking online for advice is don't be a sheep. Fucking look stuff up yourself. It's Google. It's the 2017. It's the 21st century.
Because me and you used to be Mike Chang slaves.
Yeah. Fucking afterburn effect.
I want to buy the afterburn fuel. I never did. I still want to try it someday, though.
Don't. Fuck you. Yeah, just don't be a sheep. And there's literally millions of articles at your fingertips, and you're just too lazy to fucking look at them.
So basically, instead of listening to someone who's going to sell you something, acquire the knowledge yourself.
Like, you can look at stuff. You can look at guys on YouTube, guys on bodybuilding.com, whatever. Take it with a grain of salt, though. Do your own research on it.
Oh, okay.
That's a good transition to everything in life. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Make your own decision. Don't be a sheep.
But can I ask, is there some merit for an out-of-shape person watching a complete scam artist like Rich, what the hell is that fucking dude's
Rich
name?
Piana?
Like, if a really out-of-shape person trying to get into the gym starts watching Rich Piana, is it more harm or more good?
So...
Or a bit of both?
Okay, so this is a very extreme situation because you're taking this 300 pound fucking steroid city fucking block of muscle, and you're equating it to a 300-pound person who's like full of fat.
Slap boxed a fucking retarded guy or something.
Yeah, something like that. Two completely different people, two completely different training styles, two different diets, completely different. However, there's the motivation factor that comes in. So you can look up to that guy and be like, I want to be like Rich Piana someday. I don't know who the fuck would want to be like him, but whatever. And you bust your ass in the gym every day because you want to be like Rich Piana. So, to a certain extent, he is doing the person some good.
But what harm is Rich Piana specifically doing, to your knowledge?
Well, let's say they're fucking teaching the wrong thing. Let's say the person's like, I want to be like Rich Piana. Let's fucking take anabolic steroids.
But Rich Piana doesn't teach steroids, does he?
He is adamant about his steroid usage.
All right, tell me about steroids. Are they get bad or good? Because I think at one point, you almost sounded like you thought they were kind of good.
No, I don't think they're good to any extent.
You made them sound less bad than people say they are.
Okay, so here's probably what I was talking about. The difference between what you might find in your local supplement store versus anabolic steroids. Something you find in your supplement store not regulated by the FDA. It's going to fuck you up somehow. Jeez. It's fucking going to kill you. However, and then there's the regulated anabolic steroids that are illegal unless through prescription. So you're probably safer taking steroids than whatever the fuck you find at the supplement store.
Oh.
So there's a thing called pro hormones, which I was probably talking about, which is a completely different story.
What are pro hormones?
Okay, so pro hormones are, so steroids are illegal, yes. However, the great thing about the FDA is, let's say you change one little tiny molecule in the steroid formula, bam, not steroids anymore. Sell that.
So they're basically still selling steroids that aren't considered steroids?
Steroids that are not regulated by the FDA, nor are they like steroids as what's the word? When something stays constant. Basically, they're less safe, but still. So rather than taking like pro hormones or whatever that might fuck you up for life, steroids you can take. There are options for getting better from when you get off them.
Well, what about pro hormones would mess you up for life?
Okay, so when you take pro hormones like steroids, your body will rely on the testosterone you get from the steroids, decreasing your natural body testosterone, which is going to fuck you up for the rest of your life. Jeez. There's kidney damage. There's damage to your blood cells. There's just a multitude of things that's going to fuck you up.
Wow.
Different for everybody. Different for each supplement.
So you're saying that fucking actual steroids, the fact that they illegalized steroids has opened the market for things that are worse for steroids, which
Absolutely.
aren't illegal. God, dude. So are you saying that steroids shouldn't be illegal?
I think you're getting on the marijuana should be legal or not debate right now.
No, not really, but it is a similar debate that I've never realized.
Yeah. No, I don't think they should be legal. However, FDA is kind of bullshit.
Fuck the FDA.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some way to create a privatized version.
There is. Actually, there's a couple different websites, third party that isn't sponsored by anybody that'll review the quality of each supplement.
Because they've got their own team of scientists.
Right. Tell you like if this shit is safe or not.
So why the hell is the FDA so pathetic that they require millions of dollars just to see if something's good or not, even though it shouldn't even be that hard for the amount of fucking, talent that they have?
Do you really want to get into the talk of bureaucrats?
You're right. Red tape, basically. Government red tape is the problem.
Yeah.
So basically, fuck the FDA and start privatizing.
Yes.
You know what? Screw the FDA. Burn it down.
There you go.
That's the answer. That's
There you
the
go.
problem. The only problem with the
Nice.
fitness
You're wearing an
industry,
eagle with a fucking America
that's for
helmet.
sure. Hell yeah. Fuck the FDA. Hashtag. That's gonna be the name of this podcast. Fuck the FDA. No, it's not. Hell, it's not.
Okay.
Damn, dude. All right. So basically, okay. Give me another example. What? Okay. How about Kino Body? So he preaches about intermittent fasting.
So
They all preach different things.
okay. So here's the grand thing about the fitness industry. They'll take one little tiny bit of scientific evidence that is good, and they'll blow it the fuck out of proportions. So this guy preaches what's called intermittent fasting. Basically, it's been around for fucking centuries. You fast for 16 hours, eat for 8 hours. He preaches it as a diet technique because if you have a certain set amount of calories and you don't eat for 3/4 of the day and then you eat for the last quarter of the day, you're going to feel more full. You're going to enjoy a better lifestyle. He has taken that and completely blown it the fuck out of proportion, saying it's the fucking answer to everything. It's fucking Christ coming down from heaven to save us all.
You've been lied to.
Yeah.
All the fitness industry is bullshit.
Yeah.
The only answer is intermittent fasting. That's
Basically.
what he sounds like. But,
Practically.
I mean, he does look good, though.
Well, yeah, they all do.
Is that because of steroids or is that because of intermittent fasting?
You know, dude, you can't say because to a certain extent, if you're getting paid to look good.
That is true. He does make a lot of money.
So, what can I say?
So that's philosophically kind of frightening. So basically, all the fitness gurus aren't 100% believable because there's a potential that they're not completely honest with how they acquired their fitness.
It's safe to assume if you're getting paid to do something, you're going to do whatever you can to continue getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So if you're getting paid to look good, you're going to most likely you're going to take steroids to make sure you look good 24/7.
Yeah.
To make that constant income. Because if you're out of a job, what the fuck are you? A guy with a six-pack?
That's true. But also, to be fair, someone who literally preaches fitness for a living has time to actually, work out the proper amount of times.
Yeah, go to the gym.
Go to the
good
gym.
Lifestyle.
Because a lot of the people, their problem is that they don't have time. They work. So I guess it's not 100% unbelievable to know that these gurus can constantly stay fit.
That's why I say most likely. There are probably some guys that are natural and not lying to you and completely honest with you. Or there's some guys that are not.
So are there telltale signs like Rich, whatever the fuck his name.
Rich Piana is literally 350 pounds of muscle.
He looks like a steroid
he's
user.
on steroids.
Cali Muscle is definitely a steroid user.
With extreme, yeah, all natty, bro. Those people, obviously, you can tell.
What's the telltale sign then?
There's
Veins?
not really a telltale sign.
People tell me it's veins.
Veins?
That people that have shit tons of veins all over them are steroid users.
No, I don't take steroids, and I fucking was a road map during my competition.
Not compared to a steroid user.
Not necessarily.
Oh, really?
All
right.
The only thing you can pretty much go off of is if they're getting paid to look good.
Really?
If they're an athlete at the Olympic level, it's safe to assume they're on some kind of steroid.
Yeah, that's true. They all take steroids pretty much.
Yeah.
Hell, even
Major league sports,
they're all
safe
steroids.
to assume. Probably.
Well, it makes it sound like steroids are the best thing that's ever happened.
Dude,
well, look at how
look
healthy.
how pathetic sports were fucking 50 years ago. And then all these guys started juicing up, and now it's fucking amazing. Everyone's hitting a home run. Everyone's hitting a grand slam.
Yeah, look how healthy all of them are, and what drawbacks have we seen to any of them?
Besides everybody dying. Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen many people die.
No, it's not the most common thing for people to die. In fact, Rich Piana actually just got into an induced coma because of his steroid usage.
Fuck. That guy's okay. That guy is the biggest steroid. He has roid rages.
He does. He fucking slap boxed a retard kid.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Okay, we're gonna play a little game.
Okay.
All right, Rich Piana.
Steroid.
Steroid user or non-steroid user?
Steroid.
Kino Body, steroid user or non-steroid user?
You know, dude, it's hard to say because he could definitely be natural.
He doesn't look that buff.
He has a natural body. There's another way to tell if somebody is taking steroids. I'll link to the video, but basically this guy uses a formula where there's a set number where it's free floating body mass. It's basically talking about how much lean mass you have compared to your weight, your body fat percentage, and your height. So theoretically, there's a certain limit for each one of us on how much muscle we can attain naturally.
Oh.
And then so it basically put that number into a coefficient. Anyone over that number, most likely steroids. Anyone under that number could be taking steroids, but they could also be all natural. So yeah, you can link to that video in the fucking link dump or whatever.
All right, so just
if you
bullshit.
want.
Continuing on.
Okay.
Mike Chang, steroid user or non-steroid?
Steroid.
Really?
I don't know.
Not the afterburn fuel? Come on, man. It's got to be the afterburn fuel. Maybe afterburn fuel has little grounds of steroids.
Yeah, there you go. Just fucking sprinkle some of that shit on there.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce.
The secret
Oh,
sauce.
yeah. What would you do if Mike Chang was 100% natural and you had proof?
And I had proof?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Okay, Athlete X. Steroid user, non-steroid user?
Probably natural.
Really?
I mean, dude, it could go either way, honestly. On a lot of these guys.
All right. So they're all steroid users. Just kidding.
Yeah, basically.
Vegan gains. Steroid users.
Who the fuck cares?
Actually, what do you think of vegan gains, man? What do you think of vegans
seriously
and
gonna go
vegan
on
gains?
this?
I want to talk about vegan gains. I kind of liked him for a while. Honestly, I still kind of like him. I don't watch him
He's a
anymore.
troll, dude.
Well, he is a troll, but honestly, the things that he preaches aren't, when he's a complete fucking dick to everyone, that's where I disagree with him. But a lot of the things he preaches, I'm like, you know what? I think he's pretty much kind of right.
Okay.
So what do you think about the vegan diet? Terrible or non-terrible? Just kidding.
It's not as terrible or not terrible. It's whatever fits for your fucking lifestyle. If you want to do that.
But there's a bad way to be vegan and a good way to be vegan. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're fucking gloating that you're vegan and you're... Okay, so here's an example. If you think that not killing animals and saving their lives is moral, then obviously the opposite would be immoral. And who are you to judge if it's immoral?
Yeah. So do you think killing animals is moral?
Are we seriously going on this?
Yeah.
Obviously I don't like the thing. Don't like the idea.
But we have to live.
But I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a selfish person. I like my things at my time.
That is true. I am too. I'm a selfish piece of shit too.
And unfortunately, if I go vegan, it's not going to change a fucking thing. The fucking billion-dollar food industry is not going to change at all.
That is true, man.
So I can remain selfish.
So we're basically admitting that vegan gains guy is right. All meat eaters are selfish assholes. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Maybe.
Is that scary to admit that he's kind of right about that?
So here's the thing.
agree
I don't
with him.
think killing the animals are necessarily immoral. I think where we have gone wrong is not understanding their value that they have.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when we were fucking Homo sapiens or Homo erectus or whatever the fuck, we would go out and hunt our food, and they would literally thank whatever they looked up to for the food, right? So they're like, oh, thank you for this food. However, we fucking go to this grocery store and get food, and we're like, well, it's food. We kind of forget where it comes from and what kind of sacrifices the animals had to make to give us our food.
Especially with how corrupt the agricultural industry is right now with fucking
I don't like how they're
factories.
treated. So here's how you can support animals getting treated better without becoming vegan.
Buy expensive meat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Organic.
Yeah, I mean, This country is literally ruled on money. So if you were to support the other person, obviously things are going to change.
But people don't want to, support. They just want to keep eating at McDonald's.
Right.
Which I don't blame them, I guess. But
it's easier. It's easier to be selfish.
The problem is that the agricultural industry is so corrupt, and that we sell all our food.
Yeah.
I told Matthew Wong on a different podcast. You might call me fucking crazy.
Okay.
And this is when I tell people that I'm not really a libertarian. I'm somewhat libertarian because I've got some liberal ideas and stuff.
Okay.
I think we should put like $50 billion into agriculture.
50 billion?
Yeah, like 50 to 100 billion instead of like what 10 billion we're putting in now.
For pretty what? For better treatment of animals?
Food would be free. Almost.
That's where we differ, but okay.
I mean, if food is like as expensive as it is now with a $20 billion funding to agriculture, then bump that up to like 100 billion, except change it so that we tax the ones that are
rules and regulations
that's true. Like tax the ones that are inhumane and subsidize the ones that are humane. Basically, so that way the big corporations can't sue small corporations and small companies, because that's the another big problem. The big corporations that have so much special interest in the government, like Thomas Vilsack was the CEO of Monsanto, and he was Obama's Secretary of Agriculture.
Okay.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
But like, do you think that's possible, that if we subsidized things better and somehow reversed?
It happens all over the place, dude.
But would food be a lot cheaper and healthier?
Not necessarily. Who wants to eat healthy?
Nobody.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how much fucking money you put into it.
But what if we made healthy food more affordable? Maybe people would.
Maybe.
Sad to think.
Yeah. I mean, the same kind of thing happens all over the place in the government. Donald Trump made, ExxonMobil the head of economics.
Yeah.
Think about how that's going to affect the future of electric cars.
That's true. He's kind of fucking them, isn't he?
Yeah. Government's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it is. That's all there is to it, huh?
Yeah.
Not only government, corporations are fucked up, too.
Corporations are also fucked up.
But I wonder, and it's weird because those corporations aren't really completely free enterprise either.
Yeah.
They're subsidized.
Yeah, there's a lot of subsidized corporations.
Like Tyson Chicken, the most inhumane fucking pieces of shit on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think, though, about, the whole, whether it's myth or non-myth, the things that the vegan fitness gurus spew? Like how Vegan Gain says, I'm not even talking about the ethics of it anymore. He basically says that, even if we didn't have to worry about animals, even if we could grow meat out of machines, he still thinks you should never eat it anyway because it's actually just unhealthy. Do you think it's actually true that getting your proteins and shit all through plants is actually healthier, or is that complete bullshit?
Okay, so here's the thing. So, where do I start? Thing with people and diets are people have a really hard time correlation and causation. They have a hard time differentiating the two. Let's say somebody goes on the vegan diet and they're like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing, I feel so much better. And it's like, okay, well, what the fuck were you eating before? Fucking McDonald's every day? I mean, what the fuck? The thing about the vegan diet is it forces you to eat all of these things that are like vegetables, fruits, whatever. So I like to believe in everything in moderation is good. So obviously if you're eating steak for every meal, like, sure, maybe it might be bad. However, fucking have some steak, have some vegetables, have some fucking fruit, some nuts, whatever, some grains. Whatever. you're gonna have a more variety diet.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think anything is accomplished by cutting one particular thing out, which is a lot of what diets are. Keto diet, cutting carbs out. Low fat diet, fucking paleo diet, fucking. There's all over. It's all over the place.
It's basically demonizing a certain sector when it's
Right.
actually about the moderation.
Yeah. Pretty much. So I think there's some validity in the vegan diet. However, if you were to just switch from eating McDonald's every fucking meal to having a salad here and there, you might feel better.
That's true. So basically, you're saying these vegans are attributing their former bad health to meat when it's actually just bad diet in general.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, but wow, man. You know what? You know what culture? I don't know if it still does because it's a different thing now. But you know, a culture that had a really balanced diet was Japan.
Okay. I can see that.
Japan did it right where their meals were a small amount of meat, you know, a decent amount of vegetables, a decent amount of fruit. It was like part of their culture was eating a pretty much a balanced diet, and it was just normal to them.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, you know, just the way our society's evolved, it turned into, you know, kind of health went by the wayside. It was more about affordability. But then
Yeah.
that affordability kind of turned into unaffordability because now it's just turned into corruption.
Are you talking about like in healthcare?
Not even healthcare. I'm just talking about agricultural industry still. Well, basically, my claim is that food in this country has the potential to be like astronomically cheap with how much farmland we have.
Yeah.
You know, and all that shit. If we didn't sell a bit of meat to any other countries, you know, the food here would be pretty much free, in my opinion, if we just did agriculture right. But, you know, it's gone by the wayside so badly. And
That's assuming the U.S. doesn't have to be a part of the global market.
yeah,
If we just stuck to ourselves, which wouldn't necessarily work.
it wouldn't. It's true. But, I mean, there's not enough incentive into being a small farmer.
Well, yeah, I mean, what makes more money? Fucking an IT firm or
Yeah.
a farm?
That's why I think small farmers should be incentivized more.
Yeah, I could see that.
Instead, they just get fucking perpetually screwed over day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year.
Right.
Not just by the government, by corporations.
Yeah, they're getting fucked on both ends.
Did you hear about how Monsanto sends these black op agents to literally fucking plant little Monsanto corn seeds on their land, like on the corner of their land or something? And then they send people over to inspect, and they sue these small farmers for billions of dollars because of intellectual property theft, because they didn't sign a contract with Monsanto to grow their crop. But these farmers didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, that's just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad, man. Like, when shit like that is going on, it's amazing we even have to pay as much as we do for food.
Yeah. No, for sure.
God, dude. So do you have any other tips and tricks for people trying to be fit like you?
Just keep your eye on the goal.
That's all. It's so simple, man.
Yeah. Well, I got everybody else. It's pretty good. It's pretty simple.
You know, that's kind of something I've learned, that growing up is basically, in my opinion, growing up is about finding out that all these banal platitudes that your parents and other people would tell you, finding out that they're actually completely true and have a life or death importance.
Yeah.
Whereas as a kid, you disregarded it and said that's just a bunch of shit that we've heard over and over again, but never actually valued it for its truth.
People are saying it over and over and over for a reason.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
But, you know, people are always looking for this deep, sacred, like, answer, magical, mystical answer to their problems, when really it is the simplest, most pathetically banal, mundane thing that would change your life.
Not everything's a poem. Sometimes it's just a sentence.
It is. God. But, too much of life gets in the way. Work, depression, family issues, social expectations. I don't fucking know. I mean, do you have any advice for people that literally are too busy? Keep your eye on the prize. That's it.
I have 3 jobs and I may still make it work, dude.
Yeah. That's all there is to it, guys. Wow. So do you have any final words of wisdom?
It was your boy. That was my final thing.
Your boy, Daniel.
Your boy.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Make sure to subscribe.
I promise I'm not a douche.
Daniel is not a douche. He's not. He's a nice guy. He came over here to my fucking house at 5 a.m. this morning to help me do some bullshit work with my dad. And he didn't even expect to get paid. He did get paid because my dad insisted.
Yeah.
But what a good guy he is. Even though he works 3 jobs, stays fit. I wish I could be Daniel Harrison.
All right, let's end this.
You guys should all strive to be Daniel
Shut
Harrison.
up. Oh my. Okay.
That should be your motto.
I'm over
be
it.
Daniel Harrison.
I'm over it.
Okay, guys. I'm going to cut that one off there. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe to the Compelling Conversations channel. Soon I'll be trying to get these on iTunes so that you can listen in the airport and wherever the hell without using the internet. You can just download them for free and listen away to a compelling conversation to burn some useless time while you're in the gym.
There you go.
Listen to this while you're into the gym. Maybe it'll fucking motivate you. Yeah. Was this a motivating conversation or a draining
very,
conversation?
very boring.
Very boring?
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to make people unmotivated or more motivated?
I think they're going to make I think they're going to think that I'm a douche. God damn it.
Did you just fuck with the fucking audio?
A little bit.
Well, anyway, guys, that's okay. Sorry about this last minute static.
Fuck.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode.
Is this still recording?
Hold on one sec.
Okay.
I'm
There
back.
we go. Much
Yeah.
better.
Thank you for listening to this episode. As usual, make sure to share this on the interpersonal level. If this conversation applies to a specific person, show it to them. Don't just share it to Facebook because that won't do anything. No one's going to click on my fucking bullshit podcast.
Yeah, true fucking story, actually.
Sharing it to Facebook, showing it to one person helps more than sharing it to Facebook. So, if you know someone that's trying to get motivated and go to the gym or is just interested in that stuff in general, show them this podcast. Similar to the other podcasts, if that circumstance applies to a specific person, show it to them. But, yeah, thank you guys for everything. Make sure to like this video and comment your thoughts.
Final words. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole, and make sure to keep your eyes on the prize. It'll be worth it, trust me.
Now listen to this jazz music as we finish. Okay, let's fucking end this.
See ya.